We are live here on Trending in the AM. Today was supposed to be a fun show. Stiefel Boys talking Philly sports. Uh, but we got to talk today. Damar Hamlin and the unfortunate situation that unfolded on Monday Night Football last night. Prayers up to him, his family, all the players, everybody involved in that situation. We're going to dive into it. We're going to talk about it, talk about football in general and how they need to change some of the ways they do things. Maybe some people will join us. I'm still going to try to get my nephew out here to have some fun, bring some fun to the show, and bring some, fun talk to it with my nephew. We'll see if we get into that. But trending in the AM, it starts in 30 seconds.
Holding gets around in front.
And Philadelphia has it.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Trending in the AM right here on DSM Media. We're live, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. You know the drill. Like, share, retweet, follow, comment. Greatly appreciate anybody that wants to tune in and bring their comments to the show today. Majority of the show, we're going to talk a little bit about football, obviously. The unfortunate situation that happened, um, last night in the Monday Night Football game and some of the things that happened, posted happening, the way people handled the situation, tweeting out things, being political about it, being assholes about it. We're going to talk about all that. I may, we'll see how this conversation goes. My nephew is still inside. Maybe he'll join us. Unfortunately, my brother. We're just going to take the fun show that we're planned. We got to talk this serious situation out today. The way the NFL handled it and everything like that. Good morning, Mark. Uh, yeah, I'm going to do my best. I am no Scott Van Pelt. I am no Ryan Clark. I am no Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, all the announcers from ESPN last night. We'll talk about this injury in a second, but since you're bringing up that, um, man, they handled everything last night like complete pros, complete. Um, they handled it perfectly, basically. Yeah, very sad moment. That field, yeah, yeah. The way the announcers handled that situation. I saw a lot of people tweeting out that maybe ESPN should have cut to a pre-recorded show of some kind with just a banner at the bottom. Instead, they did not. Look, so let's backtrack. We'll get back to that in a second. Obviously, last night, early in the game, Damar Hamlin, safety or cornerback, defensive back of the Bengals or of the Bills, put a big hit on Bengals or wide receiver T Higgins, and but don't worry, Mark. We're going to get to Skip Bayless here shortly. Definitely. There was a collision on the field between the two. Hamlin stood up and then collapsed onto the field. Instantly, medical personnel rushed out to him. Obviously, they tried to get into an ambulance. So they put him back onto the field. They had to give him CPR on the field. His heart did stop. Um, and yeah, he was rushed to the emergency after about 9 minutes. The reports were of CPR being administered on the field. He was rushed to a hospital. Uh, Latest updates are that he's in critical condition, but he is stable. They've got him sedated. They've got him in a breathing tube. Last night there were reports that he wasn't able to breathe on his own. We haven't seen much of an update this morning, but obviously a scary situation, and it brings into the dangers of playing football. But it also brings out the worst and the best because there's we're going to talk about Skip like Mark brings up and some of the awful people out there that are using this for their own good and their own gain. But there's also a lot of great people, and Damar Hamlin had a charity, a GoFundMe page set up for a toy drive, and he had goals of raising like $2,000. Last night, from the time this injury happened, about just before 9 o'clock, till midnight when I went to sleep, he had gained over $3 million in donations to his toy drive. So there are some fantastic people out there that don't take advantage of the situation. Um, the NFL, ESPN, Mark, you're saying ESPN is a news organization. They needed to cover it. That is a fair statement, yes. But a lot of the reporters, Mark, it's not like it's CNN or Fox News where these guys are professional reporters. Yeah, some of them are Scott Van Pelt, professional reporter. Ryan Clark, former player. Troy Aikman, a player. Booger McFarland, a player. These guys got into the media world after, after, their playing careers were over. So they're not fully trained media personnel. So they're not really used to handling this situation. But then there's people in the media situation that did not handle it well. I would never put Skip Bayless in my title. Look, I unfoul. Let's dive right into it. The negatives of last night. Obviously, we're going to talk the NFL and how they should have handled the situation. But Skip Bayless, and a lot of other people. I don't even want to say all their names. I mean, the fact that Skip Bayless still had 3.2 million followers last night when I went to bed, he still has 3.2 million followers. It's an embarrassment. If you're following Skip Bayless, I don't even care. I'll say it right now on the show. You don't have to subscribe. You can unsubscribe to the show if you want. I don't care. You can stop following me. You can stop following everybody. I've said it before. Skip Bayless is the biggest embarrassment there. He's just a straight clickbait. And I got into it last night because I saw people sticking up for Skip Bayless last night. And I lost a few followers. I didn't do it purposely. I was looking at something else this morning before the show, and I saw I lost 5 followers last night. I don't care. You can unfollow, you can unsubscribe. I don't care. If you're going to support Skip Bayless, you can get out of here. But he made insensitive comments saying that the game needed to be played. Eh, guys, sometimes life, sometimes people's well being, the fans, the players, the coaches, the families, everybody. It's a little bit more important than the actual game of football. And I know they're going to try to reschedule the game. They're going to try to get in days. Look, I, people like Skip Bayless trying to get click. I mean, I saw it was like 300 million people viewed or clicked on his tweet. Guys, unfollow the man right now. This is not the first time he's done something like this. All he is a clickbait artist, and he says these insensitive things time in and time again. There's some people making this about vaccines and stuff like that. Guys, get the hell out of here. It's not the right time. Somebody else quote tweeted somebody that I followed, and now I do. We're all thinking. No, we're not thinking that. Last night, it's the second to last night. I'm on vacation here in Orlando, Florida. Second to last night of vacation today, and this happened. All the fun we were having last night stopped instantly. I sat on the couch. I watched this. I thought about it. Positive vibes. I just thought about life in general and how short it can be. You know, I'm a wrestling fan. Always been a wrestling fan, and this brought memories of Owen Hart. This brought back memories of when Jerry the King Lawler had a heart attack on Monday Night Raw. Um, Life is important than the game and the money involved and the sponsors and the clicks and the everything goes into these leagues. And Skip Bayless, the guy that came for my Wi-Fi's wonking out right now, of course, in this tough situation right now. So bear with me, guys, as you're watching this. Um, the Wi-Fi will tighten up here shortly. These guys just they make it all about themselves, and they take advantage of very tough situations. And last night was a tough situation, a bad situation, a scary situation. And Skip Bayless and a boatload of other media personalities are out there making it about themselves for more clicks, more views, more bumps in their algorithm. And I just won't have any of it. It's an instant unfollow. It's an instant block. It's an instant mute. It's an instant everything. And if you stick up for those people, just unsubscribe to the show right now because I could care less. Honestly, you got to put the people's, the person's well-being first and foremost. And there's no doubt about that. The NFL last night, and this is something I really want to dive into. And I know Troy Vincent, the head of the NFL Players Association, has come out and refuted this report. But it took a really long time for the NFL to make the decision to postpone the game. Um, I mean, it was a good hour plus after he left for the hospital before they had called the game or postponed the game or suspended the game for the night. I think it was a completely insensitive thing that they did. They literally. I would not I do not necessarily believe Troy Vincent's statement saying that there was never any thought process of potentially playing that game last night. I really think that Roger Goodell was trying his best to find a way to get that game in last night. Obviously, canceling or postponing a game at this point of the season is a logistic nightmare. But who gives a crap? I don't care. Oh, I thought he was the Players Association guy, Troy Vincent. I'm sorry about that. That I misspoke there. He reps the league. Big. Well, then that changes everything. I was basing my opinion on his comments, thinking he was the head of the Players Association, not the senior vice president of the league. So then that just invalidates. That makes it worse. That it makes me not believe his comments even more. That's my mistake there, Mark. Um, this this whole situation that the NFL trying to get them. There were reports coming off the field that they were telling them to get ready. You got 5 minutes to re-warm up after he left in an ambulance after his heart stopped on the field. You got 5 minutes to warm up, and we're going to get this game in. That was the reports coming out, and it's an embarrassment. People still watch the game. We were talking with Mark on this show a couple days ago about how on Christmas Day the NFL, the 3 games out, one of those 3 games outdid all 5 NBA games in viewership for the day, and yet the NFL can get away with doing these kind of things, and it doesn't stop people from watching. And I'm not going to stop watching. Obviously, I'm going to cheer on the Eagles on Sunday. I'm going to cheer on the Eagles through the playoffs, obviously. But the people in charge, and Roger Goodell, is one of them that really needs to be held accountable here. Um, they care too much about the bottom dollar. They care too much about their sponsorships. They care too much about the money than to worry about these players. And we see it. I mean, we saw it on Sunday. Josh Sweat went down in a crumpled heap and had to get rushed to the hospital. And thank God he's seems to be okay. And they seem to say that he's going to be back at some point. He said specifically he'll be back at some point this year. But I mean, sometimes you got to worry about these players. I mean, taking that long, and then you saw the video floating around ESPN and the reports of the ref handing a phone to both coaches of the Bills, Sean McDermott and Zach Taylor, and they were talking to somebody. My guess is they were either talking to Troy Vincent or they were talking to Roger Goodell, and trying to. I guarantee whoever was on the other side of that phone was definitely trying to convince them to find a way to play this game when there was no way. I mean, you literally saw tears coming down players' faces. They were scared. You can't go in there and play. You can't. I know a lot of people are bringing up that soccer, the situation that happened at the soccer event, back in 2020 where a guy had a similar thing happen and he was, they finished that game. You risk so many people if they're not mentally, in a game like football versus soccer, if you're not mentally focused, well, that's more injuries happening. That's more problems happening. I think it's embarrassing. I don't know what the NFL should do at this point. There's reports that the NFL wants to get this game played in the next 2 days, whether it's today or tomorrow. I don't know how you get him to play today. He's still, intubated and probably not breathing on his own yet at this point. You can't play it. And I'm pretty sure the Buffalo Bills, there's a lot of reports saying that they actually flew home to Buffalo last night. A lot of those players wanted to be with their families. The hospital wasn't going to let all 100 Buffalo Bills players and coaches and team personnel in that hospital to be with Hamlin last night. Obviously, I know Diggs fought through security to get in there and was with him, but which that's fantastic. But eh, logistically speaking, I don't know how they get it done. And you know what? I really don't care. I don't. If you have to just skip the game, I don't care. I know the NFL is not going to want to do that. They're going to try to get it in. But if you make these players come out on Wednesday and play this game, finish this game, and then make them go play again on Sunday, what's the point? The Bills. I mean, I just imagine even the Bengals. Just imagine being T. Higgins. There was a big collision between T. Higgins and Damar Hamlin. You tell me that T. Higgins is going to be mentally prepared to play a football game in 2 days? No. T. Higgins is probably heartbroken himself, thinking that he had something to do with it. Which obviously it was just a bang bang play. Who knows what caused this? Whether there's an underlying issue, who knows what the problem was? But you can't worry about the game. Like literally, if you have to play 16 games versus everybody 17, I don't care. Don't worry about playoff seeding. Don't worry about it. It's all bigger. This is bigger than all that. And the fact that the NFL is quicker to try to figure out how to reschedule these things than worry about the player's safety, it drives me completely nuts. It really does. I looked up the rule book last night. It's vague on suspension of a game and leaves it in the lap of the commissioner. Exactly. And Mark, do you trust the commissioner, Roger Goodell, to make the right decision for the players and their well-being? I don't. I personal would call a forfeit in favor of Bengals. I think both teams would be okay with it. Yeah, I mean, you could do it. You could say the Bengals win, whatever. You can give them both a tie. Give them both. Honestly, I could care less. I know the Chiefs would probably argue this because they're in the one seat. But if the Chiefs are a stand-up organization, maybe they would. Just give both teams a win. I don't care. Give them both a tie. I don't care. The game just doesn't need to be played. Give these guys 7 days to mentally, 6 days to mentally, digest what happened on the field. Make sure their brother in arms is okay, and then just play week 18, week 18. I mean, I don't see why you just can't do that. Or hell, this would never happen. It just wouldn't. But postpone the whole league. Push the whole entire league back a week. Let the Bills and Bengals finish their game on Sunday next week and then push everything back. It's not going to happen. That would be a logistic nightmare for the Super Bowl, the playoffs. 30 teams in the NFL. They wouldn't do it. But honestly, why wouldn't they? If they really cared about their players. And this goes into this whole entire situation brings up something I've brought up a few times. Something I've been bashed about for a while. And I talked about it. Marcus Epps had a couple bad illegal hits this year. I talked to my brother. Would you let your son play football? I've talked with Mark on the air. Would you let your kid play football if he wanted to? It's a violent sport. I know. But we've got to start teaching these kids at a young age how to hit safely, how to protect themselves on the field. Situation could have been an underlying issue. I don't know. We won't know that for a while probably. But we've got to start working hard at teaching at a lower level proper safety, proper hitting, proper tackling, so that these situations that seem to be happening, you see more and more players get carted off the field week in and week out. As the years go by, athletes get bigger, stronger, faster, which makes larger, more painful, more hard hits. Brings in a lot more risk. It's not going to happen next week, next year. If we don't clean this game up and clean the way it's played up to protect the players, you're going to continue to see year in, year out, less kids sign up for football. Less parents let their kids sign up for football. You see plenty of videos of Little League football, helmet-to-helmet hits and stuff like that. You see this kind of bad coaching from people in the Little League levels, and that's got to stop. You see more kids sign up for soccer, lacrosse, basketball. I mean, still baseball's not getting as many signups as it should, but you'll probably start to see more kids gravitate towards those sports because their parents are going to push them towards those less contact sports. And I don't blame them for doing that. I'm not saying next year there's going to be no football, but 40, 50 years from now, when I'm an old man, if I even make it that long, we're going to see a totally different sport. We might not see the sport anymore. Well, we'll see it, but maybe to a different extent. It can't be cleaned up. There will all okay. So it is a dangerous game, Casey, and I understand that, but you can't. You can clean it up, and lessen the amount of the severe injuries. I understand it's a dangerous game, but if you teach proper techniques, and I'm not a coach, and I don't know, how to teach these techniques, but if you teach better techniques to the kids, then that'll get to the high school level, then that'll get to the college level, then that'll get to the pro level. You could do things now so that 10 years from now, the game's a little safer, a little cleaner. I really do. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just it's unfortunate. It really is. I just think that people that you know just want to say that it's a violent sport and it's a dangerous sport and bad hits are going to happen don't understand that the fundamentals of the game taught at that early level can help create a situation in an environment where maybe it's not happening. I mean, like I said, I've seen so many times floating around social media and everywhere, you know, these highlight videos from 8 and 9 year olds playing football, 10 year olds playing football, and they're they're just mashing each other like the pros, and coaches just like pushing it forward. I've seen videos of practices where the coaches are encouraging these 10 year olds to just charge at each other and hit, and that's the problem with the game. Mark's saying here, soccer is king in my town, but football is huge as well. Klecko and Mikel coach out teams in a major. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're going to see my town soccer is becoming bigger and bigger. Soccer is becoming majorly big. Um, it just hang on one second. Hang on, buddy. Give me like 10 minutes and I can bring you on. Okay, 10, 15 minutes. All right. Sorry, my nephew Connor wants to jump in here soon. Um, so look, the fundamentals of the game need to change. The coaching needs to change. But honestly, all that it doesn't even matter at this point. What matters is the well-being of Damar Hamlin, the well-being of T. Higgins, the well-being of his family, well-being of everybody's family, and it just needs to be given an opportunity to just settle down. Like let these players just give them the opportunity to just collect their thoughts. Look, they couldn't play last night. There's no doubt about it. But you can't tell me those players are going to be ready to play tonight or tomorrow. They're just not going to be ready. Again, I want to backtrack to the beginning part of it. The people that are politicizing, using this as an opportunity to get clicks, to get views, to get whatever, to stir stuff up. I got to watch my language now that my Connor's here next to me. The people that are using that, they just they just need to go away. Like literally, I tweeted, and I don't have many followers. I don't care. Whatever. We all try to get more followers. We all try to get more clicks and views on our shows. Whatever. But I put it out there last night. Just unfollow everybody. Unfollow. Woke up this morning. He didn't lose any followers last night. He just did because the people that were outraged were already the people that weren't following him. But again, back to Ryan Clark and the guys on ESPN and the way they handled the situation. Again, I know they're a news organization. They handled it with class. They were getting no information fed to them whatsoever, and they just had to keep rehashing the same conversation over and over again. Um, they handled it with class. They handled it so well, and I do want to give them an applause for the way they handled the situation. Um, because they did. I mean, they really did. That's not what they don't sign up for these kind of situations. They sign up to cover the sport itself, to break down games, and these kind of situations are probably pretty tough for them. Obviously, Ryan Clark talking about his personal situation where he was hurt and sick and he almost died in his situation. Reliving that for him probably couldn't have been easy on the air. Um, it was so sad seeing the videos circulating around with Hamlin's mom on the sideline with him before the game and all the pictures. I think it was a lot of his family was there for the game. I couldn't imagine the emotions that they were going through throughout that situation. And they got his mom. They got her to the hospital with him, which is great. But man, that just it was just a scary situation last night, and it put us all in our tracks. It stops you. It makes you think about life. It makes you think about how precious it is. It just the NFL guys. The NFL needs to really be thinking last night and this morning about how to handle this situation. I mean, we always hear that Roger Goodell only cares about the shield and the image of the NFL. Well, here's a moment where he could change the perception of him and how he handles these situations by just putting the player first, by putting the family first, and by putting the team first. Shout out to all the coaches at the younger levels teaching tackling correctly. Head up, see what you're tackling, shoulder pad to deliver hit. Absolutely, this is what should happen. But the problem, Casey, it's not happening across the board. That's the problem. This is what's not happening everywhere. Some towns it is. I have a friend that coaches. They call it the Titans. It's the Little League football, in our town, and they do teach that. There's some towns that don't allow tackling until they're in middle school or eighth grade or ninth grade. Um, it's kind of like how little league, some little league baseball teams protect pitchers from throwing curveballs and things like that to protect their arms so that they're not hurt and injured early on. you gotta protect these kids. You gotta find a way to teach them right. Otherwise, you're gonna see less and less kids signing up for these teams. You just are, and it's a shame. It really really is a shame that this is where we are at right now with this great sport, because it is a great sport. Football is a great sport. It's fun. It's exciting. It delivers, countless it's a tradition, watching the game on Sunday. I mean, we did it here this Sunday with the Eagles here on vacation. We hooked up the TV to the laptop. We got a stream of the Eagles game. Me, my brother, his- my nephew. We watched the Eagles play. But sometimes all that fun isn't as important as somebody's livelihood. And again, thoughts, prayers, kind vibes, everything. I'm just Google search. I'm just bringing up Twitter again, and just to see if anything changed. Any new updates here. Um, as of now, I'm not seeing anything new popping up. Just more people talking and quote tweeting Skip Bayless. Which is just pathetic. Just pathetic. Let me just continue to scroll through. Yeah, here. It doesn't look like anything has changed in the situation. Um, yeah, Connor's sneaking in. His face keeps sneaking in. We're gonna try to bring some light to this show here, some fun, some energy. Um, here in a minute, because I know my man wants to be on the show. He wants to play. He wants to play. My man Connor wants to play a little game. He loves to play a game. Who's better? And he lists two names, and I got to pick who's better. Then I list two names, and he says who's better. So we're gonna play. We're gonna play. We're gonna play a little game here in a minute, Connor. We will. Give me a second. Not in every sport. I know. Just basketball for you. Yeah, I mean, it was hard for me to go to sleep. You know, Yeah, I mean, I was up till about 11:30 last night, just scrolling my phone, refreshing it, just trying to get some kind of update, some kind of confirmation that he was okay. It's hard to go to bed when you. It's hard to calm down and sleep when you know somebody in a sport that you love. You never meet the guy. Honestly, how many people even knew who Damar Hamlin was at 8:30 last night? Nobody. 24-year-old young kid, only been in the league short for a short period of time. Nobody knew who he was, and now he's a household name, and not for the right reasons or anything, but we all stayed up hoping to get he's okay, he'll be fine, or he's stable, some kind of information um, would have put us all at ease to go to bed last night, and yeah, I mean that's just not, it's just not it's just a sad situation. It's tough. We've covered some sensitive subjects on this show before, and this is a tough one for me. It's tough to just sit here and digest that a young man's life is on the line at this point, playing a game that he loves, that we love, that it's just tough. It's just tough. Um, we're gonna take a quick pause in the action. I'm gonna refresh here real quick so that I could get Connor on this show this morning. Um, Today's show is brought to you by Jen's Barber Lounge. Two great locations, Fishtown and Old City. I even feel awkward just reading the script that I have to read every day. I don't even want to do my promo today, so I'm just going to play their commercial, and then we'll be right back in a minute. All right, we're back here on Trending in the AM, right here on DSM Media. We are live, and yes, we are trying to handle this Damar Hamlin situation. But my man Connor, it's the last day of vacation, so my man Connor wants to get in on the show and talk a little basketball, a little and football. Yes, I'll put the microphone when I put the microphone in your face. That's when you can talk, because nobody can hear you if you're not there. Okay, you got it, buddy. So Connor is a big basketball fan. Whose jersey are you wearing right now?
James Harden.
Oh, he's got his James Harden jersey on right now. Um, so the Sixers won last night, Connor. Joel Embiid had a really good game. James Harden had a really good game. PJ Tucker did not play great last night. I know you didn't watch it. You were in bed. But what do you think of the Sixers? Do you think the Sixers are a really good basketball team?
They're a little good, but not too good because of PJ Tucker.
What's wrong with PJ Tucker?
He's too old.
Do you know he's younger than me? What, you think 37's old?
Wait, he's 37. I didn't know that.
He's old, but he's not as old as me.
Oh. I didn't know that.
All right. So, can the Sixers be the champions this year with James Harden and Joel Embiid?
No.
Just no. Why not?
Because Maxey has to try to get back into his good rhythm, and Harden has to play better.
Okay. Tyrese Maxey was back for the last 2 games. Is Tyrese Maxey more important than James Harden?
No.
James Harden's more important?
Yes.
Okay. All right. If Tyrese Maxey gets back into his good form, can the Sixers win?
We only scored 7 points last night. So
Last night, I think he scored more than 7 points. 2 nights ago, he scored 7.
his fantasy points were 7 points.
We only care about our fantasy basketball teams here. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
Who's in last place in the fantasy basketball league?
Uncle P.
I'm Uncle P, just so you guys know. I am Uncle P. And how many times have you sent me on this vacation? How many trades have you tried to make me take?
5.
I think it was like 500 trades you sent me this week.
By the way, you're getting Miles Turner and Jalen Brooks.
I know. Yes. You know what? I am going to teach you a lesson. I'm getting Miles Turner and Jalen Brunson for who? Marcus Smart and who?
Gary Trent.
And Gary Trent. I'm teaching you a lesson. You can't just trade anybody away. You got to make good trades, man.
That was a good trade.
Yeah, for me, not for you. All right. You already had Marcus Smart. Okay, so let's play a game here. All right. Who is better? Yeah, it's who do you like better? Donovan Mitchell or James Harden?
James Harden.
Why?
Because he's just better.
Did you see
At passing.
at passing? Did you see that Donovan Mitchell scored 71 points last night?
Yeah, but in his fantasy points, he scored 100 and something.
Yeah, that was a pretty good game. Whose team is he on?
Cavaliers.
No, I mean whose fantasy team is he on?
He's on my daddy's.
Oh, he's on your dad's fantasy team? You know, I said Donovan Mitchell wasn't very good, and he scored a lot of points last night.
He is good.
He's good. He's not great. I would take James Harden over Donovan Mitchell.
I know, I would. Because he's better at passing.
All right, give me one.
Who do you like better? LeBron James or Jimmy Butler?
Do I like better? I like Jimmy Butler better, but LeBron James is way better of a player than him.
I know, but is Jimmy Butler older?
Jimmy Butler's not as old as LeBron James.
What age is Butler?
I don't know their ages. I know LeBron James is 38. I think Jimmy Butler's probably about like 33, 34.
Well, Butler's like 38 or so.
All right, give me another one.
Who do you like better, Kevin Durant or Steph Curry?
Well, that's a tough one. Kevin Durant or Steph Curry. And if anybody's watching, give Connor a who's better question in the comment section here for him. Kevin Durant or Steph Curry? Steph Curry. Steph Curry is the best point guard of all time.
Oh wait.
Yeah, they're old.
I would pick Durant
Why Kevin Durant?
because he's been an All-Star more than Curry.
Has he?
Yeah, he made all the All-Star games. Curry hasn't made all the All-Star games.
Well, that's good knowledge there from you, Connor. Very good knowledge. Who's better? Or who's more? Here's one. This is a tough one. Don't pick your nose on my camera. That's not fun. How old are you? And you're picking your nose on my screen? Everybody's going to turn off the show. I'm going to give you one. Who's more important? Joel Embiid or Jalen Hurts? That's a tough one.
Jalen Hurts.
Why is that?
Because Hurts is better at football than basketball than Embiid.
Really? I mean, Joel Embiid's really good at basketball.
Hurts is younger, so that means he's better.
All right. Good morning, Joe. Joe, if you're just tuning in, we're playing a little game here with my nephew here. Who is better? And he likes to ask questions on who is better, and he likes to be asked. So I'm going to ask you another one. You think Hurts is better than Embiid? So who is better, Nikolai Jokic or Joel Embiid?
Embiid. I think Embiid's gonna win MVP. It's between Tatum, Harden, and Embiid.
Harden, Embiid, and Tatum for MVP. You don't think Jokic is the MVP?
No. He
Should
already,
should he have won the MVP last year, or should Joel Embiid have won it last year?
I think Giannis
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
and Pete should have won like second again.
He won second the last 2 years.
Well then, Jokic should have not won it 3 years in a row.
Yeah, I mean, it should have been Joel Embiid one of those years. Do you think he wins it this year?
Giannis, yeah, Giannis, because Tatum's playing like a superstar.
He is. Yes, absolutely. The Sixers are playing good basketball. They've now won 10 of their last 12 games.
That's pretty
That's pretty good. That's really good.
good.
All right, give me another who's better.
Who's better, Aaron Gordon or Derrick Rose?
Who cares? They both stink. I know you're a big Derrick Rose fan. Aaron Gordon stinks. Derrick Rose is hurt. Why do you have them on your fantasy team? You don't need. Why? It's a waste of a spot.
Aaron
You don't.
Gordon's better than Derrick Rose.
Right now, yeah. Why? Who do you like better?
Aaron Gordon, because he's better than Derrick Rose.
I thought you were a big Derrick Rose fan.
He is. I am, but he's just not too good.
Well, he's getting old. He's getting slower. Slow like your Uncle P, you know? No? Is he better than me? All right, here. I got a who's better for you. Okay? Oh, I could take Derrick Rose, no problem.
He's a point guard. You're like a power forward.
What? Are you saying I'm fat? You're looking at my belly as you say that. I'm fat?
Power forward.
All right, who's better? Joel Embiid or your Uncle P?
My Uncle P.
Ah, high five, high five. All right. All right, so what else do you want to talk about here, buddy?
I want to talk about the Eagles.
Go ahead, talk about it.
Just Amichu's a bum. I really want Jalen Hurts back to the team next Sunday. Because they would win if you get him on the team.
So I got somebody giving me a who's better. Do you play baseball a little bit, right?
Yeah.
All right, who's better, Bryce Harper or Mike Trout?
I don't know Mike Trout, so I'll say Bryce Harper.
That's the right answer anyway. Mike Trout plays for the Angels. He's really good, but Bryce Harper's the best. This comment here says Joel Embiid deserves an MVP. But who does he make better? Does Joel Embiid make his teammates better?
No, not that good.
No, not at all. No. So we got a Bryce Harper is better. Who's your favorite Phillies player?
I had two.
Okay.
I mean three.
Okay.
Kyle Shorbert,
Okay.
Reese Hoskins, and Bryce Harper.
You're a smart kid saying Reese Hoskins because I love Reese Hoskins too. Everybody boos him, but I say he's good.
My man, what is that? My man. Connor.
That's one of my friends. He says you're a legend. He says Connor's a legend. Are you a legend?
Yeah.
Hey, I got to ask you, who's got the high score right now in the Pop-A-Shot in the arcade?
Uncle P.
That's right, because I'm a legend too.
And then Daddy is second place best in there.
No, I actually have the first, second, and fourth score. I
What?
got all the high scores.
Well, Daddy is fifth.
Yeah, Dad's kind of getting a little tired. His arm's hurting a little bit from trying to beat my high score.
Wait,
My arm does hurt because we played a lot of Pop-A-Shot this week.
I thought the massage helped too.
The massage did help. That's why I was able to get the new high score yesterday.
Well, Bob's not doing that good.
No, Bob's is not doing good. For anybody that doesn't know, my nieces and nephew call my wife Bob's. It's a long story. All right, so the question here is, who can drink the most juice boxes in this house? Me? How about from you, Devin, Maddie? Who can drink the most juice boxes?
Probably me.
Yeah? Do you drink a lot of juice boxes?
No one ever gets me. So,
What do you like to drink?
juice box,
Yeah, what's your favorite kind?
just regular.
Regular. I don't. Oh, apple juice. Okay, gotcha. That's what I guess regular is. All right, Connor. One more. Who's better? Then I've got to finish my show up here without you.
Aw.
Yeah, we're almost out of time. It's almost breakfast time.
I want to talk about
Go ahead. Talk about the Eagles. But you got to put the microphone close.
Devontae Smith was not good on that Sunday game, was he?
Yeah, he was good.
Okay, then Miles Sanders wasn't too good.
No, he wasn't that great.
Because he's not a good receiver. The last Cowboys versus Eagles game, he made too many turnovers.
He did.
Like Gardner Minshew. That's why they lost, because Gardner Minshew and Miles Sanders were playing terrible.
Yeah.
That's why they lost.
Right. So if Jalen Hurts comes back,
They're going to win because they have A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, a little bit of Miles Sanders.
okay.
And you have a backup that's Gardner Minshew, but he's not too good.
What else do you want to say?
Who do you like better, P? A.J. Brown or Jalen Hurts?
Oh, Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is the MVP.
No, he isn't.
He's the best player on the
Terrence
team.
Ross.
Who?
Terrence
Terrence Ross is a basketball player.
Ross. He's not good.
Jalen Hurts is the MVP. Would be exciting if Jalen Hurts and Joel Embiid both got MVPs in the same year. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
What if all of our Philadelphia #1 players got MVP the same year?
That would be Bryce Harper, Joel Embiid, Jalen Hurts. I don't know anybody on the Flyers, so I can't say that. Travis Konecny, is he still on the Flyers? Okay, I don't even know. I don't watch hockey.
Because Sean Couturier is out for the whole year.
Of course, he stinks.
No, he doesn't.
He stinks.
But he's the captain.
He stinks.
He's the captain.
He stinks.
He's the captain.
He stinks.
He's the captain.
All right, he still stinks.
No, he doesn't.
This is high quality entertainment right here on Trending in the AM between my man Connor here and what? He said, who could drink more juice boxes? We already answered that question. Not you. One more. All right. Who's better, Kobe Bryant or LeBron James?
LeBron James.
What?
Is.
Who does the GOAT stand for?
LeBron.
What? No, it's Michael Jordan, the GOAT.
No.
All right, you can get off my show right now. Go away. Go.
Why?
Because you said Jordan's not the GOAT.
Not
Somebody else saying, my man Peanut here saying, you got to be on the show more often. I think that means he likes you.
He does.
Tell him he cheated to win the fantasy football league. I should have won the fantasy football league, but he cheated.
Yes, he did cheat.
That's right. You cheated, Peanut. I should have won that title, not you.
Yeah, P should have won the title.
That's right. All right, Connor. We're going to wrap this up, okay? Yeah, in like 2 or 3 minutes. I got to finish talking a few things here, and then we'll wrap it up, okay? I'll be inside for breakfast in just a few minutes, all right? All right. Yeah, you paid attention, all right. Yeah, my replacement. This kid could just talk for hours, for sure. Anyway, everybody, that was a little fun. Trying to bring some light this morning to what was obviously a very sensitive morning, very sensitive situation. Do not go in that pool. You're not allowed in the pool right now. All right, sorry. Got to watch the pool at the same time as, podcasting here. Yeah, awesome job from Connor there. Absolutely. We tried to have a little fun. Tried to bring some light to the situation today. Obviously a tough morning. I guarantee almost everybody, first thing they did when they woke up this morning was check their phones to see updates on DeMar Hamlin, which we don't really have any new updates from last night on him. But again, the NFL, in my opinion, needs to do the right thing. Find a way to not make these guys play this week. These guys need a break. These guys need some mental time. I mean, just like I said, even T. Higgins, make counselors available for these guys. Help them get their situation and their mental state prepared to play. Obviously, we can't cancel the rest of the season. Obviously, but we can't postpone games and or push the whole season back a week because it'd just be logistically pretty difficult. Yeah, we discussed this, Joe, quite in depth earlier in the show, and there's a lot of people like that, Joe. I just wish more people would just stop using these kind of situations for their personal gain and for their personal, clicks and views. And when there's guys like Skip Bayless that We know our POS is. But yet, did he lose? He should have lost 1 million followers last night. But he didn't. I guarantee whatever the hell his show's called, which I've never watched, I guarantee he'll be on it this morning. He will. And he made an apology later saying we're all mistaking his comments. No. Somebody's got to stand up when these guys, make these kind of comments. These networks, there's plenty of guys out there that could do the job that Skip does and not be so insensitive. Think before you tweet people. Think before you talk people. Think before you say anything. It's so important. Yet so many people don't do it. And unfortunately, it's disappointing. It's sad. It's unfortunate. But just stop watching. If everybody unfollows Skip Bayless, guess what? He would lose his job. So why don't we just all unfollow him? The other guy that's making it about vaccines, or the other guy saying that I got into a fight with last night saying that Skip Bayless is just saying what we're all thinking. No, we're not all thinking that. Most normal people were thinking last night, I hope this guy lives. That's what most people were thinking of. Anyway, we're going to wrap the show up here. I'm going to go get my last morning of breakfast here in Orlando. I hope so. And Shannon's not afraid of doing that from what I've heard. But, if I was Shannon Sharp, I would just not show up on set. Just say, hey, I'm done if he's not done. Have some good. I mean, someone would hire. If Shannon quit, somebody would hire him. He'd get in our job. No doubt about it. At some point, Skip needs to be taken down. He does. 100%. Some housekeeping news. There will be no show tomorrow. We're flying home from Florida tomorrow morning. I got to leave here at like 8:30 in the morning for the airport. So we'll be back Thursday morning. Tonight, 9 o'clock, Fairway to Heaven, my golf podcast with Jason Sullivan is back for season 3. I'll be live at 9 o'clock. We're going to talk golf. We're going to preview the season. Actually, get some of his thoughts on this. We'll talk more of this situation as more updates become available on Damar Hamlin's situation. We'll bring that up and discuss that tonight as well. Everybody have a great day. Keep sending those positive vibes towards Damar Hamlin, towards his family, towards T. Higgins, towards all the players, all the personnel, all the reporters, everybody. Positive vibes and prayers sent their way. Please, everybody continue to do it. Train the AM. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. And I appreciate you all tuning in to Connor as well. Have a great day.
And Philadelphia has it.